Yeah,
can you give us a raw view how the place is like?
Well, it stretches from Sakaman, a bit of Sakaman, all the way to the beach. And so it encompasses the entire Dansoman estates, Sakaman, Sned Flats, Otojo, Tunga, which is one of the Zongos in my constituency, and then Opetekwe, Nasarawa, Akwebu, which is bordering Mass, the Mass Business School Road. Behind Mass Business School is Akwebu. And it then stretches along the big gutter. So it's a big gutter which divides Dansoman, Abdikuma West from Abdikuma South. And so from the Tony Park all the way to Shiabu, Chemwena, which borders Choko, is my constituency. And from there, it stretches along the beach all the way to Glefe, which borders Pambras. And so that will give you an idea of the size of the constituency.
Oh, okay.
So from Shiabu, we have 5 electoral areas. And Dansoman Estates and is Manstralo and Mamponkai. Then we have Shiabu, Opetekwe, and Bebu, which is along the beach. So Ebenezer Secondary School is, SHS is my constituency. And then Snit Flats are also in there, Tunga is in there, Nasarawa is in there, which borders Zamrama line. So that's the constituency we're talking about.
Basically, it's your first time, you're going for the second time.
Absolutely.
And how are your chances like?
Very bright. And I get more encouraged with the progress of the campaigning. And it's encouraging to see that people appreciate the efforts that I'm putting in the constituency, in Parliament, and in the nation generally. Just this morning, I was in a neighborhood which traditionally votes against the MPP. But large numbers of NDC people were telling me that this time around they're going with us because they've tasted water, they've tasted wine, they've seen the difference, and they've seen how, despite their loyalty to the NDC,
but when you say talk is cheap, maybe they are just telling you that, but when it comes to the voting date, they might not even vote for you.
There are places where you go to and they'll tell you point blank that I'm not going to vote for you. I'll vote for one person or the other. I'm not going to vote for your presidential candidate. We speak freely in my constituency largely, and I keep telling them that I'm an honest politician. So I like people to deal honestly with me. So they'll tell you from the heart what they're feeling. But they say that we'll find out on D-Day. But I'm very confident that we'll retain the seat with an enhanced margin.
What are some of the legacies you've done under your watch within the 4 years in your constituencies? That constituents can say, Ursula Owusu-Ekuful did this, that. Can you mention some of them?
Yes, when I was campaigning in 2012, from Shiabu to Glefe, there was only one main public school, and they didn't even have a public basic school there. So I campaigned and told them that there's so many children there. We have to bring a basic school here and work hard to ensure. All right,
so on the screen right now, so you can watch, is when she presented some school decks to the school. Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
So we worked hard to ensure that they would bring a basic school there. So thankfully, there was a JHS there, but we've got one of the Millennium schools there, and we have a basic school there now. So that's one of the things that I'm very proud of. I'm also proud of the road construction, which is currently ongoing in the constituency. Glefe, children used to walk with Wellington boots when it rained in Glefe because the whole place got so flooded. And so you see even 2-year-old children with Wellington boots. We went around the whole area and promised them that we'll try and do something about it. As we speak, the road is being tarred, and the gutters has been done. At least the main road through Glefe has been done. So one of the major headaches of the people has been resolved under my watch. We're also doing significant road construction in there. But when it comes to education as well, many of the schools didn't have furniture, and like you saw, we presented 500 plus dual desks to the various public schools in the constituency. We've also given them computers, we've given them exercise books. So everybody, most of the kids there, you enter a home and, hey, Esla, they don't even say honorable, which is fine with me because I love them, and because they have seen me regularly in their schools interacting with them. And I keep saying that I sold charcoal before, if I am a lawyer today, it's because of education. So when it comes to education, I don't joke with it. So we've done a bit. We have 4 millennium schools in there. Some constituencies don't have even one. And we've lobbied hard for all that infrastructure to come to the constituency. We're working on the roads as well, as I indicated. There's a special school in Dansoman, and in 2012, they were in a very dilapidated 3-classroom block. It's been demolished, and they didn't put them in a good place, so I harassed the mayor of Accra until he put up a purpose-built, very nice, I think it's a 6-classroom facility for the children with special needs there. There's still a bit of work which needs to be done there. So we're improving their facilities. We provided them with equipment. So they also thank Ursula for her efforts in making sure that they have better conditions under which to study. Education is my heart. So we've worked very hard on that. We've also worked on the roads, as I've indicated. There is one polyclinic in Dansoman, which is, it started life as a health post, but it treats about 200 patients a day. So the facilities are woefully inadequate. And I've assisted them with the inputs and supplies that they need. They're building an extension to the place. I've helped them with that. There was a fire outbreak there. I helped with the rewiring and then assisted them replace the equipment that was damaged.
All right.
But they still need to relocate.
Yeah. Okay, now let's talk about all that you've done. Certainly the Millennium School, for instance, you said you have to lobby or kind of give pressure to the mayor of Accra to have it done. And how did you generate funds? Is this the MP's Common Fund, or how did you came about all the monies that assisted you in getting some of the work done?
For these schools, the Common Fund is not enough to build any of those schools.
So is it from your personal pocket?
No. It is from the state funds that is set aside for all that. And Get Fund has also built some of those schools. I know that the USAID also has built a few of those schools. In fact, the one in Big Bay and the one in the Ukputi cluster of schools in Nasarawa was with USAID funding. There's one with the Chinese also assisted us to build. So the loans that were contracted by the state to do some of these things, if you don't lobby for that, it will not come to your constituency.
Okay.
So we've done that. The Common Fund we've used for the dual desk. We've used to provide scholarships. We've used to improve the special school. We've used that to also provide flood relief every year when there's a flood. Ours is one of the flood-prone areas. We've used that to provide flood relief. We've also used that, like I said, for scholarships. We've given over 500 scholarships. We've also used that for some of the spot improvements of the roads that you've seen, and for street lighting as well. All that is what we've used some of our Common Fund for. And then annually during the Sanla and stuff like that, the inputs that we provide for our Muslim brothers comes from the Common Fund. We also give incentive packages to the public servants and teachers in the constituency every year.
Yeah.
The police, the fire service, the nurses, the teachers in the constituency. Every year we provide them with some. Their salaries are inadequate.
Yeah.
So any little that we can do to enable them to have a little bit more breathing room and cater for their needs, the MP does that. So they're all very grateful for this.
Okay, but you have a lot more to do for your constituency.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk about your flag bearer. He made mention, or severally, as we all know, that he's going to build one district, one factory. And you being a member of parliament for now, for Ablekuma West, if you are voted again and your flag bearer happens to win, what will you suggest for your constituency? Oh,
even this morning on my rounds in the constituency, I came across a lady who was preparing Burkina, and we jokingly said that, that's one district, one factory right there. You can expand your business and do it in a more hygienic manner and employ more hands and supply as many people as needed as possible. So agro-processing is one of the key areas in which that the one district, one factory concept is going to play out across the country. And I'm sure that there are a few food vendors who would also like that if they were given the opportunity to expand their businesses, that they would like to. Waste to energy. We generate a lot of garbage, refuse, household waste, and not just in my constituency, but in many other places. It is one area that I've already started exploring with the Investment Promotion Council, and they have a potential project for suitable investors in terms of the waste to energy program. Now, we also have a central sewage system in Dansoman, which can also work as a waste to energy project. So around the Tony Park area, which is where all the waste from the first stop congregates, and then Shiabu area, which is where all the waste from Datu's area also congregates. We can put up a waste to energy there and produce our own electricity to use from our own household waste and sewage that we produce. So it is not just a fanciful concept when we're talking about the one district, one factory. There are opportunities all over the place. The women in the constituency who do detergents and cosmetics and all that, who use shea butter and our alata semina, there's black soap. That's a burgeoning industry right there, that if we could inject more resources in, they could expand. Now everybody's into organic products to use on the body, on the skin, for creams and for the hair and for the facial makeup and all that. We've gone back to nature. Our alata semina has now gained premium. They call it black soap, but we've used it for generations. We didn't respect it, but now they have researched into it and found that its properties are very good for the hair and for the skin. That's one area that we can invest in in a major way, and then supply the needs of many people. Our shea butter, we can bring it up from the north and turn it into finished products which we can use in the cosmetics industry. So the opportunities are endless. Yeah,
but we've made mention of a whole lot that you've done for your constituency and what you'll be doing. But tell you what, some constituents are not happy with you. Others to say maybe you have done just a little. Recently, you organized a free health screening. What other scholarships are you engaging the constituent in?
We're organizing free NHIS registration for the young people and for the older folk, below 17 and below, and 70 and above. We're doing it for them for free. And the response has been tremendous. I had no idea that there was such a need for it, but we're using our health fund to bring the benefits directly to the people. We've done free breast cancer awareness and screening for the constituents. We've done health screening as well for many of the neighborhoods when it comes to health. We're just about to roll out a free eye testing and provision of glasses in conjunction with one of the optical services in there. And those are some of the initiatives that we're doing to bring help directly to the people. Now we've just cut the sword for the construction of a wall around the land set aside for the Dansoman Polyclinic to preserve that land and to build a state-of-the-art polyclinic and relocate some of their facilities there. So that's also ongoing. But you can't win them all. I'll be foolish to think that everybody would be so impressed with my efforts that I'll win 100% of the votes in there. It never happens. There are always a few people who would need a bit more than you can provide. When it comes to putting money in people's pocket, if we pay for, help you, provide financial assistance for you to pay for either your health services or the education of your children, that's one way in which we're saving you from spending money. And we provided quite a number of scholarships for the children in the constituency. Now, Dansoman is one of the estates which had a central sewage system, and it hasn't seen any major rehabilitation since it was established. And I know Amelitego changed some of the pipes, underground pipes around the first stop area, but many of it was asbestos. It's been a long time. It's been broken down. It's choked. Sewage is running into people's homes. We lobbied hard for it, asked questions in Parliament, brought the Mayor of Accra and the Works and Housing, State Housing Managing Director in there, and impressed upon them the need to do something about it. And thankfully, the sewage improvement project has started with my constituency. So they can see that something which has been left lying for over 30 years has seen some work under my watch. Going forward, there's still a lot that we need to do. The roads are still in a bad state, and there's several areas where we need to continue working on the existing road network improvement that is going on, and to deal with areas that haven't seen too much work so far.
your own party is a problem because he is coming from your party. He was your former constituency chairman, and he's going independent. So who knows? Maybe his votes would have been added to yours. But now he's not campaigning for you. Has formed his own formidable forces to campaign for him.
I have an issue with your choice of words. Formidable, I'm not sure about that.
Well,
yes,
it's my choice of words though, because that is him. And he's campaigning for himself.
Absolutely.
And not campaigning for you. So the onus lies on your party and yourself. Being the incumbent member.
The rules in our party are very clear. In fact, almost all the parties are clear in their minds that once the party selects a candidate and you decide that you don't like the party's candidate, so you will go independent, you are no more a part of our party. And every true member of the MPP in the constituency is clear in their minds that we're not going to let even one vote get lost or go astray.
But that will certainly split the votes. Because he's got followers as well.
If I could land there,
okay,
then maybe you'd see where I was coming from. We've been around, and Akufo-Addo himself has been there to talk to the people. They've spoken to him. He insists on going his own way, so we wish him well. However, every true member of the MPP in the constituency is clear in their minds that this is our time, and it is ours to win or to lose, and we are determined to win this election. And so they will not cast their vote for somebody who wants to split the party's votes. And we've been around, we're talking to them. Even those who went too sure because of the many lies that have been told about me have been convinced that this is not a time to go scoring personal points. And the needs of the party are much greater than anybody's individual needs. And so, yes, he used to be with us. He's no longer a member of the party. He has no right to even talk to any member of our party, but he's campaigning, so he may seek to convince somebody. But the generality of the people that we have had interactions with are clear in their minds that if he says he's no longer going with us, he can go, but they will not follow him.
So don't you see him as threats? They will follow
the elephant. Threat, no. Well, let him do his best, but we're also not sleeping or resting on our laurels.
Okay, you recently launched...
We're also working very hard, and we're determined and are focused, and we're sending our message of hope to the people. And they're saying that I have done a tremendous amount of work, that they're quite satisfied with my output so far, and they would send me again to continue to represent them so ably in Parliament and in the constituency.
All right, so you recently launched your campaign, your flag bearer, Nadam Akufo-Addo, was there to help you launch it. Looking at how it went, do you see yourself as winning the Ablekuma West seat again? And tell us why constituents should vote for you and the flag bearer. It
was the first time, I believe, that Nana had spent a whole day in a constituency, and we had 8 separate rallies. And we were all overwhelmed with the tremendous show of love and support that the residents of Ablekuma West and the outpouring and the assurances that they gave, just not him, but me as well. So if we say that we're winning the seat with an enhanced margin, it's based on the amount of work that we have done in the constituency so far. And they see it, they feel it, they know it, they know my worth, they know my caliber, they know that because of the quality of representation that I have provided for them so far, Ablekuma West has become a household name for a new constituency which was carved out of Ablekuma South. Now I think we even overshadow our parent, which is Ablekuma South, because everybody hears of Ablekuma West constituency because of the effectiveness of their MP. All those who are contesting me are also not just telling the people, not telling the people what they can do, but they're taking pot shots at me and attacking them. I'm clear in my mind that I'm going to continue supporting the education of our children, because education is the key to personal prosperity and the development of this nation. So if I tout myself as an example of what education can do to transform the lives of any individual positively, I hold myself out as a positive role model to the children, and they see it and they tell me that they would like to be like me. In the area of health too, we would complete the polyclinic project that we've started and continue to assist the populace. We also do a lot of periodic sanitation drives as well to encourage them to understand the need for personal and neighborhood cleanliness. So just even this weekend, we're doing a cleanup. We don't just wait for the National Sanitation Day. We do it regularly.
All right. How do you see the chances of the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo December 7? I
won more votes than he did in my constituency.
Okay.
This time, I think he will win more votes than I can in my constituency.
So looking at the general overview, how are his chances like?
Oh, I think this is his time. And I'll just share an illustration that somebody, I wouldn't mention her name, but she's a leading Christian figure in this country. She said that when the Lord anoints you and calls you for a specific task, it takes about 10, 12 years of preparation before you come into your own. It happened to David. It happened to Samuel. It happened even to Jesus himself. And so the Lord himself has called Nana to come and do this task. And the past 2 or 3 two terms have been preparation. And this is his time. The programs he has, the personality that he's grown into, and the appeal that he has, and his message of hope is what is resonating with
people. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, so just few days more to go. December 7 is just around the corner. My guest has been Ursula Owusu-Ekuful. She's seeking re-election for Ablekuma West constituency. She has been my guest on today's show. Give me a handshake, Honorable, and good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Josephine Oppong-Yeboah.